You know, friends, one of the greatest questions of the Bible is the name of God. I'm sure you're aware of that. The name of God, how do you pronounce it? That's right. Some say it's Jehovah, some say it's Yahweh. Right, yes. So there's a lot of speculation how to pronounce the name of God. Personally, I feel that the name of God should not be pronounced unless you are aware of the name of God in yourself. That's my personal opinion. As I can see, most people want to pronounce that name. I don't know why, but I guess you feel good. You feel that you're connected to God if you pronounce the name. I would agree with you if you understand the name of God inside yourself. If you can pronounce that name of God within you, not through your voice, not through your mouth, but within you, I would agree with you. But if you simply pronounce the name of God through your mouth, then I would say that you are blaspheming God. But that's my opinion, sorry. It's my opinion alone. Now, I'm going to show you a clip, yes, by Metatron. He discussed it very well. But there are some very important things that he said that I like to share in this video.
Language, just like all Semitic languages in its original form, was written without vowel pointing, so only consonants, and you would fill in the vowels when reading. This is true of all Western languages before the Greeks developed an alphabet that included vowels. Hence, the entirety of the Old Testament was initially not vocalized. Now, there are some letters within the Hebrew alphabet that do function as vowel indicators or mater lectionis, but for all intents and purposes, no explicit vocalization. The Bible is an enigma. As time progressed, naturally, there were difficulties maintaining the proper pronunciation of this, which eventually was obscured by this
From the research of Metatron, I would certainly agree with the fact that it became an enigma. The name of God became an enigma. Because in the Hebrew letters, they're all consonants. You can't find a vowel in the Hebrew letters. So how do you pronounce the name of the 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton when there are no vowels in between the letters?
After the Babylonian exile in the 6th century BC, and even more so after the 3rd century BC, when the Jews stopped using the name. No one at any time, save the priest in the Holy Temple of Jerusalem, could pronounce this word.
Now, I want to bring you particularly to this very important point. The Jews decided not to pronounce the name of God. Isn't that right? That's right. That's right. And because they don't pronounce the name of God, we have lost somehow the exact pronunciation of the name of God. You may say that. But the question I want to ask you is, why is it that the Jews chose not to pronounce the name of God? Are they not the chosen people? Of course they are. Don't they know that getting to the name of God is getting to the true name of the one that they worship? Of course they know that. And it's important, right? Because if you don't know the name of God, you may say that, who is the God that I'm worshiping? That's right. So obviously, the chosen people wants to know the name of God and pronounce that name. Isn't that right? But interestingly, the name was not pronounced. They decided that it should not be pronounced. Why? That's the question I want to ask you.
Day of the Atonement, the most solemn of the Jewish religious holidays, the high priest would pronounce the Tetragrammaton 10 times.
Now this is the very important part. The name of God was only allocated to the high priest in the tabernacle. Not everyone is allowed to pronounce that name. And why the high priest can pronounce that name 10 times? You must ask that question. Now, are you a high priest? That's right. Are the ordinary believers of God the high priest? Of course not. So now the question you must ask, and I'm asking you, is it all right on your part to pronounce the name of God? In my opinion, therefore, you shouldn't pronounce the name of God. That's right. Unless you know the name of God in yourself. And why? Why do I say the word in yourself? It is because in yourself is the high priest. Right there, within ourselves, is the Son of the Most High. In our soul, we have full connection with the One. If we can therefore voice from the soul, yes, I agree perfectly with you. You should voice the name of God. If you are not familiar with yourself, if you never self-observed yourself in the first place, you see, if all that you know about God is what people tell you about God, or all that you know about God is what you read in the Bible, what you read in the Holy Books, then all that you know about God is a conception in your own mind. Just merely creating God in your mind, and you're worshipping that God which is in your mind. It has nothing to do with the one reality inside us. And that's the reason why, if you just merely know God and say hallelujah to God in a temple, in a church, or whatever, then it is not wise on our part to actually know the name of God. Because the name of God is voiced out within our soul. And it is not actually in our mouth even. So if you voice out the name of God simply from a thought in your mind, you are really blaspheming God. And that's why the Jews have decided that they should not allow the ordinary believers to name God.
Imperial Roman legion Legio Decima Fretensis, led by the Roman general Titus, destroyed Jerusalem, one of the last strongholds of the rebellion in the siege in 70 AD. The Second Temple was destroyed, and the exact vocalization became an item of debate.
So, in other words, when there is no temple, and today there is no temple, and there is no high priest, and if you think that you can just simply pronounce the name of God from wherever you are, because this is a new dispensation, you said there is a new age, you are violating the most important, essential truth of all. You see, the name of God is a mystery because you are unwilling to discover who you are. It's not a mystery if you attempt to know who you are. And what is the name of God? Google it.
You Google that question, you'll be told that the first time that this word or this name appears in the Bible is in Exodus 14:3. This is when God speaks to Moses.
You know, Moses was a very special person. He is someone who had a connection with God, face to face, you may say that way. It is written in the Bible. And why is it written that way? Because the Bible wants to impress upon us that Moses knows how to pronounce the name of God, because he is essentially connected to himself. See, Moses saw a burning bush, and when God called Moses, Moses replied, "Here am I." And then after that, God introduced himself to Moses with the name, I am. I am that I am. That is my name forever. Now this is the most important part of the video. Okay, try to understand this. Now when God transmitted the name, his name, to Moses, God told Moses, "Tell them I am have sent you." Right? But what did Moses reply? Moses said, "How could I tell them that I am have sent you?" Now what does that mean? You see, Moses realized that the I am cannot be transmitted to ordinary folks. A lot of people don't understand I am. So how am I going to be able to tell the name of God to people because they all don't know the I am who has sent me. So what did God reply? God replied something very interesting. God simply said, tell them that the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob has sent you. Notice, no name was ever given. It's just the name of the partridge. That's right. So today, what are we doing? We are trying to voice out the name of God without even knowing the I am that is communicating with you. That's right. So that's why I'm asking you. You must know the name of God inside yourself as I am. I speak a lot about this in all my videos, I would say. If this is the first time, go back into all my videos and look at it. That's right. The vital point is that you must realize the I am within yourself, just as Moses did, and you will be able to pronounce the name of God. Any other way of doing it is blasphemous.
The Tetragrammaton is made of 4 Hebrew letters, Yod, He, Vav, He. In Jewish gematria, a numerological system by which Hebrew letters correspond to numbers, the numerical values of the letters of the Tetragrammaton are indicated as 10, 5, 6, 5. When added together, their sum equals 26. Now stay with me. Let's apply these numbers, 4 and 26, to the Bible as we ask the question, when was the first time that Yahweh appears in the text? Well, what's the first book in the Bible? The book of Genesis. So Genesis 4, verse 26. Well, it so happens that chapter 4 of Genesis does have 26 verses, so let's read verse 26. And as for Seth, also to him was born a son, and he named him Enosh. Then began to call on the name of, there it is, the first time then the Tetragrammaton was ever used, and the very first time that it appears in the text. So according to this investigation, Adam and Eve didn't use it, neither did Cain and Abel. It was at the time of Enosh that men started to invoke the name or the epithet, and it's the very letters and their numeric meaning that tell us that. Fascinating. The information being embedded within the name.
I loved the research of Metatron. Very, very good. That's right. I didn't realize that too as well. Wonderful. So in Genesis chapter 4, verse 26, was the first time when a man was asked to invoke the name of God. And why? I'm telling you now. The reason is because Cain is the firstborn of Adam and Eve. Right. But Cain did not fulfill himself. Right? Another son has been born who replaces Cain. And that is Seth. And Seth gives birth to Enosh, who calls on the name of God. See, what I've been always been trying to tell you is that the name of God has been called out by the Son of the Most High. That's right. You are the son of Adam and Eve, of course. The son within you is the firstborn. That's right. And that son will be able to voice out the name of God. So before I close this video, I'm asking you, of course, to know the name of God and to know how to pronounce the name of God. And that is to discover that I am within yourself. Follow my videos, I've talked about it a lot of times. You'll discover how to do that. But it's a great challenge indeed, because not everyone can do that. If you need to identify the Holy One of Israel, all you need to do is simply say, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. That's the way you identify the name of the God that you are worshipping. You do not have to pronounce the name, because it would be blasphemous to do so without knowing I am. God bless you. You see, when Moses told God, how am I going to tell them that I am have sent me? What did God reply? God didn't say that Moses was disobedient. No. God expected that Moses would not be able to convey the I am name of God. That's why God told Moses, you just simply use the name of the three patriarchs. It's that. But we, people of this world, are getting very rebellious in it. You want to pronounce the name of God. Gosh. Don't do that. And there are lots of people, I must tell you this, who are being encouraged to use names like Jehovah and all that stuff. I'm very sad for them. And if you know them, and you can help out, you can share this video if you want to. The message of truth is hard to express. I've tried my best to do that. God bless you.